In the last episode of Residential Archaeology, we explored the Garage Mahal, a house born of scarcity. Land was precious, every square foot had to earn its keep, every inch had a job to do. Tall, narrow, and efficient. Today, we look at the opposite. This is what happens when land is abundant, ambition is unlimited, and the answer to every question is, why not make it bigger? A two-story foyer, a formal living room no one ever sits in, a media room with theater seating, a shower big enough to host a cocktail party, and a four-car garage for cars that rarely see the rain. Welcome to the McMansion. For nearly as long as Americans have built houses, they've used architecture to express what mattered most. Sometimes efficiency, sometimes tradition, sometimes status. I'm George Grant Birch, a Houston realtor and self-proclaimed residential archaeologist. In this series, we explore the homes that shape the way we live and the cultures that shape those homes. The term McMansion emerged in the 1990s as a tongue-in-cheek way to describe large, suburban houses that borrowed the look of traditional mansions. They were big, they were feature-packed, built quickly, and designed to feel luxurious. That third point may be the most important because the real difference between a mansion and a McMansion isn't just size. It's how the house is conceived, produced, and brought to life. A traditional mansion and a McMansion may contain the same number of square feet. Both may include grand entries, sweeping staircases, and lavish amenities. But they're not built from the same system. A true mansion is usually individually designed, built by custom builders one at a time, closely supervised by the architects who designed them, built with specialized materials and techniques, and created as a one-of-a-kind architectural statement. But McMansions usually are built at scale by production builders, or at least subsidiaries of a production builder, based on proven plans and standard details, constructed with widely available materials and optimized for speed and efficient delivery. One is architecture first, the other is production first. True mansions are often built in neighborhoods where mansions have existed for generations. In Houston, that includes places like River Oaks, Memorial, and Tanglewood. These are communities with long-established prestige where architecture itself is part of the neighborhood identity. McMansions, on the other hand, tend to flourish where land is more plentiful and builders can offer extraordinary size and amenities at scale. And if you want to see that phenomenon in full bloom, the counties surrounding Houston offer some of the best case studies anywhere. To put it a little provocatively, a mansion often suggests established wealth, whereas a McMansion often reflects the excitement of newly achieved prosperity. That doesn't make one morally superior to the other. It simply means they communicate different things. A mansion whispers, a McMansion makes sure you notice. During the late 1980s, 1990s, and early 2000s, several forces came together. Expanding suburbs, cheap and abundant land, easier access to credit, competitive builders, and buyers seeking visible luxury. The result was a house where almost any wish could be granted. A formal parlor used mainly as a passageway, a dedicated media room, a massive primary suite, a shower the size of an apartment, a closet with its own staircase. Space itself became a status symbol. This is where the story gets especially interesting. Drive through River Oaks and you'll notice something. Some houses seem to be under construction forever. That's because many of them are truly custom projects. There may never be another one exactly like them. Architects review details. Materials are specifically sourced for the design. Craftsmanship is scrutinized, and adjustments are made along the way. The goal is not simply to finish. The goal is to realize a particular architectural vision. Now compare that to a McMansion. The builder may have several homes underway at once. Some are built partially on spec. Materials are selected from a catalog of proven options. Subcontractors repeat familiar details. Schedules are tightly managed and speed matters because in this system, time is money. This explains why sometimes McMansions feel a little bit off. Many people sense that but struggle to describe it. Even an expensive, beautifully maintained McMansion can feel slightly off. The windows are not wrong. The columns are not wrong. The materials are not wrong. But they may not be the ideal choices for that specific composition. They are the best practical options that fit the budget, schedule, and production system. In a true mansion, an architect may specify a precise window proportion, muntin pattern, sill depth, and trim profile. In a McMansion, the question is often, which standard window products work here and keep the project moving? Nothing is necessarily incorrect, but not every detail is uniquely tailored to the whole. Your eye may not see that, but your heart can feel it. No matter how grand or customized a McMansion may be, it usually retains subtle clues that reveal its builder-led origins. Standardized windows, common trim profiles, brick veneer, synthetic stucco, repeatable framing strategies. These aren't defects, they're the fingerprints of a production system. That's why a McMansion can be impressive and even beautiful, yet still lack the artistry and effortless presence of a true mansion. It's simply not built from the same process. Not every large new house is a McMansion. The line is not always sharp. Some newly built homes are extraordinary works of architecture. They use modern materials and contemporary methods, but they are guided by proportion, discipline, and a coherent architectural vision. So the real question is not, how big is the house? The real question is, was it composed as architecture or was it accumulated as amenities? The most theatrical examples of the McMansion peaked before the 2008 financial crisis. Since then, tastes have shifted. Buyers increasingly favor cleaner lines, simpler forms, more restrained detailing, and spaces that function more efficiently. But the underlying desire for abundant, highly amenitized living has never disappeared. The McMansion didn't vanish, it evolved. The McMansion is more than a large house. It's a physical expression of a particular American moment, a time when bigger meant better, more was more, luxury was measured in square feet. It reflected optimism, aspiration, consumer choice, and the belief that if some space is good, more space must be even better. The garage mahal compresses life into the smallest possible footprint. The McMansion expands it with gleeful abandon. One is shaped by scarcity, the other is shaped by abundance. One conserves space, the other spends it freely. Both are products of the system that created them. If you enjoy this residential spotlight, be sure to subscribe for more stories about the houses that shape the way we live. And in the comments, let me know, what residential phenomenon would you like to explore next? The bungalow? The mid-century ranch? The kitchen island? Until next time, keep digging.